get away. I got your back, I got your back, babe. I got your back, I got your back, babe. Do you trust me with your life, with your life, with your life? Do you trust me with your life, with your life, with your life? You can fall back on me. If you lose it all, I'll be right here for you, waiting. Just trust me, and I'll take the pain away. You must take my hand, yeah, I got to get away. I got your back, babe.
Alrighty, and I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Today with me as my co-hosts, as always, I got Mina.
Hello.
And I got Filia Noctis.
Hello, my Nectophiliacs.
And today, joining us as our guest, we have Midnight Researcher.
Greetings, horror fans and everybody else. I bid you special welcome to Traveler's Tavern, episode 12. I'm honored to be here.
That is my favorite.
Energy.
That is my favorite, right? I was like, that is my favorite guest entrance ever.
Yeah.
You win.
Nice.
Ding, 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 ding.
These fine folks here were courteous enough to let me know that we're going to be doing this, and I gladly accepted. Going to be talking about a whole range of things from what I've been hearing. So it's good to be here. It's really, really good to be here. I like doing podcasts a lot, honestly.
Okay, everybody can hear us. Hi, thank you, Hair Raising Narrative and Aisha.
Alrighty, you guys are awesome. We love all of
Let
you.
me know.
So let's kick it off with just saying hi to whoever we got in the chat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Dark Horse? Thanks for being here. T Stash, thank you for coming, buddy. We have Aisha. Aisha, it's always great to see you.
Aisha's fabulous.
She is. HR, what's going on, dude? And so far, that's all we got.
Greetings, everybody.
That's all we got talking. We have 8 people watching, so, I mean.
We have 8 people watching, and that's all that are talking. That doesn't mean anything. We have 10 likes and no dislikes.
It's not always about who's watching live. This is obviously being recorded, so people can watch it after the fact.
Which I do frequently.
How many people active and how many likes?
We have 8 and 10.
Thank you, hair-raising narratives. It's good to see you too.
I'm sure Matt will probably drop in a few minutes.
Matt has something going on.
Does he?
He said something in the server. He's going live with somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, so you let Sabian know that we're live.
I have not. But
oh my god, my Twitter is going crazy right now. Wow.
So
it's funny how that works, isn't it?
So what I like to do before we get into the actual interview is I like to let our guest, aka you, Midnight, introduce yourself to the people who probably might not know what you do and what your channel's about. So take it away.
Well, hello everybody. I am Seth Harper, aka Midnight Researcher. I consider myself to be a general horror content creator. I have many varied interests in horror. The things that I'm focusing on right now mainly include my YouTube channel, which primarily posts narration content. However, I would not classify myself as a narrator mainly. That's just something I very much enjoy doing, and I can produce that kind of content the most frequently. But no, my interests range anywhere from online horror stories to traditional horror movies, even Eastern horror movies. Horror games are a big thing as well, and even some of the old-timey internet alternate reality games like Marble Hornets and Everyman Hybrid as well. I have a very varied interest in horror. I've loved horror from a very young age. I also really take the time. I've seen a little bit more than most people to appreciate these sort of mystery aspects to horror, because that's a little bit of an underappreciated subgenre I've felt in most horror mediums that have come along. I am generally I'm a fan of being scared as much as I am a fan of investigating why the thing that's scaring you makes you scared. So there you go.
Hmm. Smart dude.
Yeah, you said saying that there's I was reading something, and they were talking about why like mannequins and the creatures from Five Nights at Freddy's are so freaking like horrifying to people, and it's because they have a very human-like appearance, and like they're very humanoid, but they're also like not. So the fact that they're like us but also vastly different does something to the receptors in the brain that actually causes people to feel fear at a higher level whenever you're showing like you're in the presence of something that's like you but also absolutely not like you. It was
Right.
it's very interesting how like the human brain works. I like that kind of stuff.
The other thing I think that you touched on there with the mystery, which mysteries have always been one of my favorites, is that the unknown
Yes, very,
is
very much.
always more scary than something that is defined. I think that's why if you read H.P. Lovecraft, he doesn't actually give you a full view of the creature. He just tells you in general what the creature has as a part of them.
I think that's a lot of the reason why things in recent memory based off Lovecraft's work have gotten so popular. It's because they have the same kind of technique as to making something apparent that this is a threat or this is an unknown. You have to go explore it. We're going to show you some things. We're going to leave you some little breadcrumbs to it, but we're not going to tell you everything about it. Like a big go-to of mine is the Frictional Games Penumbra game series. They go to great care to define this threat that the main character goes up against. They have a little bit of a lore to it, but in the end, a lot of things are left up to speculation, and it really does add a bit of a mystery to it. And like you said, the unknown is the scariest thing to most people about these kinds of horror things.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're not gonna know exactly how boned you are. Just know that you're really boned.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why do you go into the haunted house? Are you really thinking that it's haunted, or do you just want to find out what it's haunted with and what could happen while
Somebody
you're in
paid
the
you
haunted house?
because somebody paid you $50 to do it. That's why.
Every time
The jump
Mia
scares.
Mia
that's
brought up
the
Mia brought up the haunted house, and my first thought was Supernatural. When Dean Winchester's like, next time somebody asks you if you want to go to a haunted house,
45.
Just don't. It's just like, just don't. Sit
Go
down
up,
and walk away.
go up 10 floors, it's still floor 45. Go down 15, it's still floor 45. No, it's 44, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That story, I remember that story.
I know what story you're
just like
talking about.
They paid me $50. All I have to do is go up to the 45th floor, wave out the window, and come back down.
You know, I have a random question for Seth because it just popped in my brain.
Yeah.
Yay!
When we were talking about haunted houses, what is your opinions on like the haunted attractions? Like, do you like them? Do you find them scary?
This is going to be very anticlimactic, but I actually haven't been to any of those. I don't think ever.
I have a few fun stories from those. Ranging from a guy with a chainsaw running at me and me turning around and going, "Daddy, is that you?"
I mean, there was one being hosted in my little town before the whole thing went, but I didn't want to go there because apparently they were very strict about no, it is an immersive experience. You cannot lay your hands on anything that might attack you. You cannot go off you cannot deviate off this assigned path. Just go in and enjoy the experience. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a typical haunted house, but at least in most haunted houses, they don't have you're not totally on rails with it, right? Like
Yeah.
you
Like,
can do certain things.
Dude,
they're not gonna I even heard one chick who went to my high school with me got kicked out for screaming too loud, and one of the things that was supposed to make you scream. So I didn't bother going to that one.
So my favorite one that I've gone to is no longer up, but it was like genuine immersion. They took you in and they had like a wooded area, and they gave you a flashlight, and they let their actors just run rampant, free reign, man, and it was horrifying. It was fun.
Was it like one of those where it's like on a farm area or something like that, and there's this like clown or something that chases you with a chainsaw? Because I've heard of those. Those are a lot more popular than the traditional haunted houses, I think.
Yeah, this one was not this one was not traditional. This one wasn't like what is that big one? The really big one.
The big one.
It's
Rob Zombie.
I'll have to look it up. But there's like a very popular one around here and then their horror attractions are just lame. But this one was like you walk in and it's just the atmosphere immediately sets the tone for this. This is gonna be fun, and I'll heckle the actors because that's what I do. My sister's genuinely afraid of like stuff, so I let her walk in front, and I just kind of trail in the back, and I just laugh as everything scares the shit out of her.
I think two. I'm not going to tell what happened to the one down here, but it's fun to scare the actors in a haunted house, because if you can do that, I think you've made your night. Two,
Oh, did we lose somebody?
Oh, the one that I was thinking of was called Field of Screams.
Ah, okay. I'll have to look that up. Did we lose somebody? Uh-oh.
Let me see. Mia's still here. I just can't hear.
Just gonna have some slight technical difficulties. No worries, chat. Let's see.
Well, I'm gonna just move on to the next question, and then when she comes back, we'll just slip her back in. This seems like a good segue plot point, since we're talking about haunted houses and stuff. Do you believe in the paranormal?
See, it's weird. I talked about this previously on Matt's chats, but I had one experience, and only one, that I could describe as paranormal. And aside from that, not aside from that, and about that, I don't know what it was. It could have been something that I was misinterpreting. It could have been me hallucinating or me dreaming, but it also could have been something entirely real. I don't really know what to say about it. But as far as everything else goes, I am kind of in the crowd of it could exist, it could not, but I do know that for something that doesn't exist, anything in the paranormal, there sure are a lot of people who have stories about it, and I'm sure that there's a good chance that not all of those stories are fake. That's really
about that.
Good answer. I like that answer.
That's a good answer.
I'm sorry
Are you
about
back,
that.
Mia?
I think
It's
I
all good,
am.
man. Yep, you're
Did
back.
y'all get
Okay.
I don't know
You
what y'all missed, but
you said I have and then you stopped.
uh um
Some things about the haunted house.
yeah, two things about haunted houses. I always think that it's fun to scare the actors in a haunted house. In my job, in my going into them, it's one of the things that I try to do. The best scare I ever did was down here in New Orleans. They had a human sacrifice scene, and the priest and priestess came at us with what was supposed to be innards, and I said, no, I want the heart. Can I go up and get it?" That scared them to death.
I
And
had oh, go ahead, Mia.
the other was the scariest and best haunted house I ever went to. Started out in a room where we had a coffin in front of us, and everybody had to sit in chairs to do like a mock funeral. I won't tell what happened, but we all got seated in chairs, and once that was done and everybody was in for that session, that's when the haunted house began, and it was really good. Did y'all get Aisha's question?
No.
But let me look here.
Who's your favorite inspiration, and what narrator did you discover first?
Let's see that anywhere. But okay, so yeah, my question is, who's your main inspiration, and what narrator did you discover the first? My main inspiration was actually the first narrator that I ever discovered. So the one answer for both of those, that's Mr. Creepypasta, plain and simple. I discovered him around 2011, 2012, and haven't really stopped watching him ever since. I'm doing VR chat events with him now and everything. It's great.
That really is awesome.
He really does, and like I said, I told you before, I really haven't had much with him, but he really does seem like he's down to earth and a really great guy. So the conversation I had with him was not only surprising, but it was really comforting. So
I believe, Filia, you were going to start to ask the standard questions when we had the little technical difficulty.
Oh, well, yeah, that was the first one. Was the paranormal?
Oh,
It fit nicely with what we were doing.
Okay.
So, Seth, do you write any of your own stories?
Not really. I mean, I think it'd be nice if I try to write my own story ideas in the future sometime, but right now I got too much on my plate to focus on doing that. I do have a lot of ideas for stories, though, and they mostly come from my dreams. I have a notebook right next to my bed, just in case I get an idea from a dream. Like, I've gotten a story idea about discovering some kind of creature that's similar to a mermaid, but it's kind of a little bit more feral and a little bit more creepy. I've got this story idea about getting lost in the mountains and discovering a bunch of these weird, decayed humans that aren't quite zombies, but aren't quite humans as well. I've got this idea about getting lost in an infinite IKEA. I know that's kind of a meme, but, I had a really creepy dream about that. So,
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Works. Cool.
So yeah, not at present, but I like to imagine I have a good few ideas. There are like 10 more that I've written down somewhere in my notebook. I'd have to find it, but yeah, I have like about 15 or 16 story ideas just written down somewhere, and they're waiting to be transformed into full-length horror stories. I think I could, but I don't right now.
If you ever want one transformed into a story for you, I mean, I have been known to dabble in writing, considering every Wednesday I release one of my stories.
Another example is I go to this convention every single year down in Houston. People know I'm near Houston, so that's not doxing myself or anything, but it's Comic Palooza, and I don't really go into that large of buildings that often because I'm in a small town, but that building, the convention center where it's at, it's really large. It's probably the largest building I go to. And sometimes I dream about a building that's very similar to that, but it's really kind of twisted and distorted, and it kind of has a backrooms vibe. So might turn that into something like a story, like getting lost
Nice.
in a convention center or something like that.
Or falling through
Yeah.
into the back room, right?
Yeah, backrooms, something like that. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, anything like that would be.
I
Yeah,
dropped out of the
those are
dimension.
creepy.
The secret is, though, I came up with that idea through the dream before the whole
So,
backrooms thing took
skipping
off.
around a
So,
little bit is
Cool. Cool.
oh,
What
What were
we
you
lose
saying,
him?
Filia?
I think we're losing Filia. I'm not sure.
He's on a
no,
delay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. You said skipping ahead a little bit?
Oh, I was skipping around.
Ah.
Yeah.
How did you come up with your persona?
The
Really-
Midnight Researcher.
I wouldn't really say I have a persona. I think that's just a good brand to base my channel off of. And there is a reason I had the name and the icon and everything. The reason I have the icon is in real life, I am basically blind without my glasses. And I have these really, you can see it on the Matt's Chats interview. I have very thick lenses, and they're usually the first thing that people notice about me. So, instead of trying to be sensitive about it, I just, turn it into my icon. Now everybody will know online that magenta just is my favorite color. So that's simple enough. But
Nice.
as for Midnight Researcher, okay, disclaimer: I am not a psychiatrist or a doctor or anything like that. So this is not confirmed in the slightest, but I believe that I am suffering from a sleeping disorder called non-24, where it causes my circadian rhythm to be slightly off from a normal person. So I sleep and wake up at time periods where it's about an hour later than I did the previous day. My circadian rhythm is about 25 to 26 hours, and normal person's is about 23 to 24 hours. That's how you know. That's how your body knows when it's time to go to sleep and when it's time to wake up. That's when your body tells you to start feeling tired. Mine is kind of offset, and this does not stop at any point. So there'll be times when I'll wake up like a normal person, like I did today at like 8. But there will be times that I'll wake up at 8 p.m. and go to bed around 10 a.m. So sometimes when I was first starting out the ideas for my own content creation, I was doing a lot of lore related stuff for some horror games, and literally I would be up at midnight doing research on these things that I was writing scripts out for and doing things. So, I figured, hey, that's as good a name as any, Midnight Researcher. It fits better than 3 a.m. Researcher, and it's a lot less clickbaity, I think, too.
I agree with what Hair-Raising said, though. He says the icon looks pretty recognizable, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice brand.
You got a very recognizable
it was
icon.
Very simple. Simple works best, I figure.
Yeah.
And then you got my character sitting over here looking like a freaking like a underworld version of Indiana Jones
or Jack the Ripper.
No, not Jack the Ripper.
No, if you look at it, they're like my avatar even has like a strap across his chest that would hold a bag. I swear to God, if you put a whip on there, he'd look just like freaking Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he would.
And Phantom of the Opera.
Not bad though. I liked Indy and I liked Phantom of the Opera. So hey.
Yeah.
You got Filia there looking all smexy as a tiefling. Sorry, I love your new avatar.
I love her too.
I have been thinking of getting a new icon that's just basically the same thing, but it's like a 3D render of that vector. But I haven't been able to track anybody down to do that just yet. So that's a work in progress.
Nice.
Jensen.
Yeah, I need to redo my icon. I made that one about 2009, 2008.
So, Seth, what got you into horror? just like started your
Ooh.
obsession or just love for
That's
it?
that's a story in itself. So I also talked about this in the Matt's Chats video, but I'll tell it again. No problem. So when I was around, this was around 2007 or 2008. I know because it was a year after I had gotten a new computer. I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old. I was still going to school on a school bus, and there was this one girl who kept trying to tease or convince everybody else that the whole Bloody Mary legend was real, even though we kind of had gotten over that collectively as kids a while ago by our age. But I was kind of inquisitive about it, and I said, "Hey, I have this new box that has a screen on it. I can type the words Bloody Mary into this little search engine thing, and I can get results on that. Whoa, I'm gonna do that." so that's what I did, and I didn't actually find out. I might have. I just don't remember finding anything concrete about Bloody Mary or not. But what I do remember is finding a video on YouTube called Bloody Mary. I'm not sure what it was. It looked like it was some kind of film. It might have been a trailer for a movie or a short film or something. But I found it, and that pretty much led me into the YouTube rabbit hole from about 2008 to 2011 or so of just watching a bunch of clickbait ghost type videos, like zombie videos, that kind of thing, like the scary rocking chair ghost video. That was a big one where it's just the jump scare, the girl from The Exorcist comes up and pops in your face. There was this one channel that kind of solidified my interest in it, and it's not Mr. Creepypasta. He came a little bit later. Everybody can look this up for themselves if they want. It's called Haunted Sunshine Girl, or I think they go by The Haunting of Sunshine Girl Network now. They're like I don't know what they're doing these days, but back in the day, it was this kind of Lonely Girl-esque web series about this girl who moved into this house, and it was haunted, and there was a whole story to it. And
I remember that.
Yeah, that's one thing led into another. I discovered Slender Man through a fan-submitted quote-unquote video of Haunted Sunshine Girl, and that's how I discovered MCP and Creepypasta. It was a whole thing, but really, it was two things: Bloody Mary and Haunted Sunshine Girl. That is really how I got into horror. Not really any of the movies. I watched the movies after. It was the internet that got me into horror.
So,
it was
but with Bloody Mary, you brought that up. Have you ever tried to do the Bloody Mary thing or any of those summoning things? Because I've not, and I'm not saying that I believe them, but I also am just very on the off chance that this is a real thing, I'm just not gonna do it.
I'm trying to think if I have or not, because I think it's I don't remember. I think the best answer I can give, it's very likely I tried to do that when I was 7 to 9 years old, but I don't remember, and I have not tried to do it in recent memory.
Like, every time I spill salt, I throw it over my right shoulder, because the one time that I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous, I'm not going to do it, I got in a car accident and almost died. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't so ridiculous. I'm sure this is very coincidental, but still.
But yeah, that is how I got into the wonderful world of horror.
That's a really good story. I like that.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
It is.
Good question. And you answered another one of the questions while you were going there. And I remember Sunshine Haunted Girl.
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute, I remember that. I remember her. I'm pretty sure they're like a network now, and they host a bunch of other horror channels. They're not really. Yeah. I don't really like what they're doing these days, but who am I to judge? It's their own channel, and they can do whatever they want. I just kind of preferred the sort of low budget feel of a girl with the camcorder and some kind of weird spirit appears at the end of a hallway. Not this really high budget zombie attack video, or this weird, not very well done
some guy wearing a blanket or something as a ghost, and
So, have you guys ever like watched the independent like Siren Head and just like other like random indie like horror like short horror videos that are like people produce on YouTube?
some of them. I don't really watch that kind of content that much anymore, like on my own. But if I'm gonna like do content creation about it, then sometimes I check it out. Yeah.
That was actually what got me into the watching horror on YouTube. I like started watching those, and then I one day suggested like I think Mortis Media or something, and I just like I was like it was like a rabbit hole, man. It was a
Mortis is cool.
It was a bloody rabbit hole.
I've not had the honor of collabing with him, but I really do enjoy his content.
I think somebody had a question and I just kind of talked over it. I'm sorry. I like talking a lot.
So
I just said whoops. I just said whoops because I clicked the button that I didn't want to click.
Okay, looks like we don't have any more questions. We'll see you later. Aisha's leaving. We also have some new people. We have Jeffy and Mama.
My bestie. Hey, Mama.
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Yes.
So I'm sure I might already know the answer to this, but do you have any dream collabs to like anybody in the community that you want to work with?
Dream collabs? You mean collaborations that I'd like to have happen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they've already happened.
Do you have any more?
I don't know, Corpse Husband, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well, that would be cool.
I mean, I've already collaborated with Mr. Creepypasta like 4 times, and all I really had to do was ask. So, my expectations were shattered in a good way for just collaborating with these giants of YouTube. I've collaborated with people who have written the classic creepypasta stories, like obviously Mr. Creepypasta. There's Imagine Monster V, who is actually a very good friend of mine, who wrote the Anna creepypasta character. I was on VR chat with her just like an hour ago. There's Magnus Peccatori, who is a modeler and has made some iconic creepypasta fan art that probably a lot of people have seen, but they don't know it's by Magnus. And aside from the giants, just collaborating with my own personal friends, getting people who are not that into the horror community just to able to lend a voice. I like giving everybody a voice and a collab and that kind of thing. It's very, very nice to give other people opportunities to help each other out, I feel.
Having said that, that leads to another question in my head. Do you find that there's a level in the horror community that is harder to approach than others? Like you said, Mr. Creepypasta is very, very approachable. Now, until last year in September, I would have said, yeah, right. But as now I know better. But, like Mr. Nightmare, you can't get a hold of. But I
think it's honestly tiered at certain points. But I think at least recently, a lot of people are coming together and being less insular with their communities. Like, yes, there is a certain level of difficulty, but I think for the most part, for most of the giants that are really still up there, the difficulty is in the person's head who's thinking about trying to get involved. Like I said, not just with MCP or Spike, I've repeatedly been surprised that all I need to do to collaborate with other people who are way ahead of where I could even hope to be is just to ask. Like, it might take a while and there might be some certain stipulations to collaborating or doing stuff with them, but all you really have to do is ask, and the worst thing that they can say is no. That's really it.
Yeah, I actually,
I kind of discovered that recently. Oh,
yeah.
I was just
So
Yeah.
I recently asked Dr. Creepin to be on the show, and he said yes. And at first I was like, you know what? Why would he want to be on my show? I'm like a nobody. And then I thought to myself, I was like, my brain was like, wait a minute. If you're thinking that way, how many other people think that way? And I think the thing is, like, some of these bigger creators would probably do collabs, but people are just too in their head and too afraid to ask. So these guys don't ever get the opportunity to work with anybody smaller than they are because nobody ever just, goes, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna ask.
Well, I think that a lot of us have that problem.
What's that?
A lot of us.
I think there's a saying that I've seen tossed around, especially recently. It only takes 10 seconds of courage to make a decision that could change your entire life. Like, that's really it.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. I have a video on my channel that it took me 5 times to record, but the story is from a YouTuber who has 116K. His name's Creepy Ghost Stories. I was like, me and him are friends, but I was like, he's not gonna let me read the story. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask anyways, and he let me read it, and it was amazing. So, yeah, it does. It literally does take like 10 seconds of courage to change your life. Because I almost got 100 subscribers from that video.
By the way, hair-raising narratives says, I find Midnight Researcher interesting. I like hearing him talk. Well, thank you, hair-raising narratives. If you got any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. That's why I'm here. It means a lot.
I watched the Matt's Chats interview with you.
Yeah, when I was that was a video where I was wearing the nice black suit and tie. Yeah.
Yeah, for most of it. But you impressed me as well because you're very, very laid back and very, just ask me what you want to know. And I think that is true that, we get in our heads, well, what do I have to offer Mr. Creepypasta? Or, Let's Read or Jensen or Your Maker or any of these guys that are way above us in the numbers. It's like, what do I have to offer them? I'm a nobody. I've got like 400 subscribers. Why would they even want to talk to me?
I think specifically, well, maybe not even that. I think your status in terms of your numbers really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I know there's going to be people who might disagree with me on that, but in the end, I think that you shouldn't put a status on yourself as a human being, because I feel like that limits you in a lot of ways if you think of yourself as one immutable, immovable place in life or status. Like I used to think that, again, I'm not even on any kind of level where I would work with anybody in the horror community, not even the giants. And, a year and a half later, here I am, I'm collaborating with everybody and more that I could ever think to have interacted with over the last 10 years of listening to the horror community. And it's what led me to talk to you fine people today. So there you go. You shouldn't put too much importance on what you have. Put more importance on what you could have and how you can do it,
And if you ask them a question, the worst they can say is yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that
because
the best
then
thing
you've
there
actually
is?
got to do a show. No, because I know what you mean as far as isn't it the best, but not really, because if they say yes, you end up having to do more work. If they say no, you've got to move to the next person.
No, see, I'm the opposite. If
That's
they say
the way
yes,
I was taught.
if they say yes, I'm looking forward to the extra work. Because their expectations are higher, therefore I'm gonna put my expectations higher, and not only am I gonna bring my best out in me, I'm gonna bring my best out of me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna knock that shit home.
Makes sense too. All good points.
But
the fact remains, PA Nightmare wrote a story. Dr. Creepin read the story.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Unexpected.
And is now going to do our show.
I was gonna read another one of my stories when my happy ass gets it written.
Well, there you go.
But there's a rapper who I really like, and He has a line that says, the only thing that can stop me is me, and even I can't stop me."
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions in chat. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
I got one for
Time
him.
for
Wheel of questions.
questions.
No,
Dun,
wait. It's a
dun,
wheel of
dun.
it's a wheel of misfortune. I mean, questions. Actually, I do have a question for you. Do you have a favorite creepypasta, like classic creepypasta that you've heard?
Oh, he asked it already.
All right. What'd you say? You cut out there for a second.
Favorite like creepypasta or a favorite story that you've just heard someone read?
Favorite creepypasta? I have a couple. 705. I did a narration of that just the other day, or not just the other day, but I posted it just the other day. 705 comes to mind. Alone. Just a bunch of the lesser known ones that are still really classic. I feel like I'm not really like I like them all right, but I'm not the biggest fan of the creepypasta monsters kind of thing. So I would say it's more of the unexplainable things, like 705, where it's like a time loop thing where some guy gets messages from himself and he gets trapped because of it. Alone, where some guy wakes up in a completely deserted planet Earth and has to deal with these Lovecraftian creatures and stuff like that.
I like
Favorite story that's not a creepypasta? It's got to be something from the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book. I'm just gonna have to leave it at that.
Nice.
We have a question. We have a question.
Mhm.
Favorite 3 anime, video games, and movies.
Oh, damn, T, you hitting the hard questions here.
Ooh.
Right, no. Look, I got to think about this for a second.
I'm looking forward to his favorite animes. I have my top 3 just off the top of my head.
Okay, you know what? Fine, I'll say it because it's off the top of my head as well. Erased, Steins Gate, and Bungo Stray Dogs. 3 favorite anime. Boom.
Nice.
Wow.
And not or. Oh, and not or. Okay. Video games.
Oh, man.
The Forest, because that's a survival horror game.
That's a good one.
Anything that Frictional Games releases, I'm just gonna have that as another, because that's classic survival horror. Gary's Mod, I guess, just not a horror, but it's a time killer. Minecraft, I guess, could go too as a honorable mention. Movies. Favorite movie, at least for horror, it's got to be The Ring. Not the American version, the J-horror version, Ringu.
Yes, Ringo.
Drawing a blank here. Dark Water.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
And The Grudge.
Nice.
Juan.
The
The
original.
Japanese or the
J-horror. All three of those are J-horror.
J-horror. Okay.
Oh, and movies. Yeah, he didn't specifically say horror movies. Braveheart, A Knight's Tale, and Lord of the Rings, because I just classified Lord of the Rings as one movie.
Ah. Well, so there you go. That's a chat question. Now, are we going to get on to this wheel of questions?
Yes, I do have the question from the Wheel of Questions.
All right.
Told you it's going to be random. And we ended up on
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
which fictional horror series killer? Which fictional horror serial killer would you like to collab with?
Collab
Take
with.
that as you will. Take that as you will.
Collab with?
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
You say killer, right?
Serial killer, yes.
Serial killer.
His collab, your collab.
Oh, okay, serial killer. I thought I was gonna be able to cheese my way out of that one, but no. I guess I could say Eyeless Jack because the guy doesn't want to do it, and I could.
Ooh, I like him.
Because if you read the origin to Eyeless Jack, he was transformed, and I could collab with him by putting the organs back in the people. I don't know.
Nice.
I like that. I like that.
It's the purpose.
I think-
Okay.
I think mine would either be Hannibal Lecter or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Those two seem like fun choices.
Yeah. I don't know.
This
I
is
hadn't
the
thought about.
story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
All right, good answer.
Well, thank you.
Do you have a quick answer?
Any
Mia?
kind of no,
So
Freddy. I don't know.
So I
I
saw a question on this wheel of questions that I really liked, so I'm just gonna ask it. In your
Okay, go
opinion,
I don't think that's how the system works.
it's
Yes, it is.
I'm making
Our
up.
rules.
I've
It's
made up
his
this.
rules.
I've made the system. I can break it if I want. But in your opinion, what does a perfect horror movie or story look like?
Okay, fair question. I would say subtlety over gore and mindless action and scares. Familiarity, uncanny valley, gradual lead up to horrifying twists, and basically just classic imagery that makes people unnerved without having to be over the top or tropey. Like, again, that's why I really love Ringu, just because it does all the things right, and that even carried over to the American version as well. It's got a decent mystery subplot to it, as well as just being scary and creepy by not making things over the top. I'm a big fan of psychological horror over traditional gory horror, and yeah, I think subtlety, psychological horror, and familiarity mixed with uncanny valley.
Nice.
I
Good
like
answer.
that.
Yeah.
I
I
like
was going to
that.
have a sarcastic answer ready for you.
I always have a sarcastic answer ready for anything.
Well, that's what it looks like. And to me, it's, in the shape of a swan.
What is your favorite pickup truck brand?
Ford.
Well, we
I'll
were
bite my
quick on
tongue.
that.
What?
I'll
Ford.
bite my tongue.
Ford.
Okay. Okay.
And hi, Big Daddy Stone.
Oh, Big Daddy Stone. That is my work husband.
Oh,
Hello, work husband.
Big Daddy Stone's been watching my videos and commenting, and I really appreciate it.
I think all of us appreciate when somebody does that. If you could have 5 horror characters for a dinner party, who would you invite and why?
Do they have to be like villains, or can they be any
Horror characters.
Horror characters. Got it.
That's where you count.
Clint Rockwell, the guy from My Friend Was Living in an Alternate Reality for years. That's the guy. The guy from The Cave, because he killed a giant badass Lovecraftian monster with a flare gun, and only a flare gun.
Yeah,
I mean, there you go.
he's a badass.
That's 2. I feel like Siren Head would be a surprisingly good table guest. So Siren Head. If he minds his manners, he might not be all that bad. Sadako, so we can have primetime TV. And
If you want good table manners, Hannibal.
let's go with
Great
Anna.
table
Anna,
manners.
because she'll eat and not complain about what she's eating.
Again, I asked, does Ryuk count as a horror character?
Oh yeah, there's my 5.
Yeah.
Because Ryuk would be one of my 5, because that guy's a sarcastic flying death god. He's like right up my alley of people I would want to converse with.
I kept thinking about Jeff the Killer, but I don't know if we could get through the night.
After the series,
I mean,
that
he could bring all the cutlery you'd need. Who knows how many
Right.
knives that guy has?
Right.
I mean, after the series 4-shot wrote, Jeff the Killer would be a good dinner guest as long as he didn't stab me before the main course.
Does he eat people? Has it been established that Jeff eats people, or does he just
I don't
kill
think
people?
so. He
I don't
murders
think
them.
so. He just murders them.
Hmm.
I do love 4-shot story though, and I'm not gonna give the obvious,
Oh God.
but I'm really looking forward to more of it coming out, hopefully. Hint, Scott. Can we have happiness without sadness?
No.
That wasn't
No.
to you.
Me?
Yes.
Well, now you're putting me on the spot here. I'll tell you how you can have happiness without sadness. I had an answer, a really funny answer, but I forgot it. So no, I guess you can't.
You want the philosophical answer? You can't know what happiness is unless you experience sadness, and therefore you cannot have happiness without sadness.
Well, yes, I know that, but that's the actual serious answer. I wanted to be funny for once, but I can't be funny.
You've been making me laugh most of this interview, so you've been funny.
I can't be funny.
So. I can't be funny all the time, people. What do you
Get it
expect
on
from me?
every question. Okay.
Nah, it's cool.
Okay. Do we have any questions from chat?
I don't see
No,
any.
No, I did see Big Daddy said when we were talking about the 5 horror characters, he said Tommy Taffy ? And I
Tommy
just said,
Taffy.
ooh.
Yeah.
That character
But,
is brutal, even by my definition of
But-
brutal.
Well, I know there are some of us that write stories who will not touch children in the story. We won't kill children in a violent way or anything like that unless it is absolutely necessary for the story.
Cough, cough.
Yeah.
I talking to the person who had a freaking dog eat a baby in a crib and called it a freaking doggy bowl.
oh my God.
Yeah.
So I have a fun question.
Sure.
What's a crazy true fact about you?
I can't see out of one of my eyes. I'm completely blind in my right eye.
Really, it's my left.
I have
It's
2
true.
different colored eyes.
What's the first thing you notice about a person?
In my peepers.
The first what? Sorry.
What is the first thing you notice about a person?
That there's a person standing in front of me? That's super weird.
Not if you're mostly blind. That makes a lot of sense.
And then I went, there are peepers.
The first thing I notice about a person, I don't know. I don't really think about it. I can't really give an answer for that. I don't really pay attention to one thing in particular. I guess their face. I don't know.
He says the first thing he notices is their voice.
Oh, if they speak, yeah, that might be.
But if they're not speaking, then you're kind of fucked.
And I
Are
didn't
you like,
say,
is he like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but with sound he can't see until they talk? Just thinking about that. He's like they're just their voice, and I'm just like, so if they're standing in front of you and they don't talk, does that mean you can't see them?
The first thing I noticed is their height. Yeah, I would notice their height, but the sad thing is, I think I'm like, okay, they've given me different answers every time they measure me. I'm somewhere between 6'3" and 6'5", so I'm typically taller than most people. So that means most people are shorter than me. So, you know.
You get asked how the weather is up there? I mean,
no.
So the first thing you notice is the fact that you have to look down at them.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Everybody looks down at
The
me.
peasant.
I'm so short.
Is somebody playing the show? Is somebody playing the show through a speaker? I heard it there for a second.
no.
No.
All right, never mind. It's not that bad.
You're hearing things.
Maybe. I'm curious as
Okay.
to what the next question is going to be.
I don't know
What
the
is
next
your
word.
go-to movie snack?
Movie snack. Mike and Ike's? Mike and Ike's, probably.
Oh.
Nice.
Even though they're
we haven't
really-
heard that in a while.
They're really bad for me, and I shouldn't eat them, but I do. I eat them a lot.
I like them human eyeballs. You know, they remind me of a gummy candy. They got plenty of the squish to them.
Now, do you like the original Mike and Ike's, or do you like some of the new, like the tropical flavored Mike and Ike's?
I mean, it's all. They're all basically
All
just
sugar?
condensed corn syrup and sugar all mixed together, so it's not really that big a difference. I just like, you know, there's an old expression, might not be good for the body, but sometimes something is good for the soul, and that's good enough for me.
Mm.
Works. Okay,
Yeah, that is true.
Mike and Ike's. It works.
Mike and Ike's.
So if you were in a horror movie scenario and you had to sacrifice one part of your body to get free, what would it be?
To get free?
Yeah.
My right eye, of course. I can't see out of that thing anyway.
Fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be like, I can get a glass eye, and then I can freak people out by pulling it out and be like,
Oh, dude, a glass eye would be awesome. You know how many people I could freak out doing that? That'd be awesome.
You know, Sammy Davis had a glass eye.
Yeah, you do.
oh,
So did Sandy
Mike,
Duncan. Not that
Oh,
anybody
42
else
I could pretend
remembers
to
Sandy
have
Duncan.
I can pretend to go cross-eyed and have my glass eye be stuck and totally freak people out. That'd be awesome.
42's in chat and entertaining herself. Mike that Ike.
You know, she's like, what? I'm tall. I know the shorter people. I taller people. Make that egg.
I'm tall. Hold on. Let me get my step ladder. I'm taller than you now.
Take them out. See your granddaughter scream.
What
She
sound
is just
or
over there. Dude, go ahead.
what sound or noise do you love?
Like can we play the sound on the stream?
Uh,
I doubt it, but
Oh,
you know,
okay.
maybe if we can find it real quick.
I have a file of a sound effect that I'm using for a game that I'm developing. I could send it over. It's just the thing that comes off the top of my head, so
thinking if there was a way we could,
Well,
you could play it on there.
yeah.
I could
You're
send the
in
file
chat,
over
you
though.
No, you're in the chat. You could play it.
How do I play it? It's not a YouTube video or anything. It's a sound file.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
she says send it to her.
Oh, okay.
Just send it
send it
in the
Yep.
in the
Yep.
in the chat.
I'll Oh, in the Discord. I
The other
misunderstood.
in the Discord. Yeah, send it in the Discord.
While I'm looking for that, next question, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Conversely, do you have a sound that just makes you cringe? You just can't deal with it.
Power lines malfunctioning happens all the time around here. They make these really high-pitched whining noises whenever they're about to short out, and I know it's like I could just hear it. Sometimes it'll wake me up. It's like, oh god, here we go again. Power's about to cut out, isn't it?
Look outside. I know what you're talking about.
Yep, exactly.
What would you do if you woke up and discovered that you are the only person on the world?
Freak out for a while, I guess. Probably just, I would probably not know that I was the only person in the world. I would probably do what most of the people in the stories do. They kind of look for other people and eventually cut loose and do whatever they want for a while until either going insane or being killed by some Lovecraftian thing,
Okay. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You're gonna combine with a comment thing where you just raid them all.
Yeah.
I probably would.
That one makes me think of the old episode of Twilight Zone with Elizabeth Montgomery, and I can't remember the guy. But he wakes up and finds that everybody is dead except that he runs into her. Only they were in a war, and it seems that they are the only two survivors of the war, and they were on opposite sides, and she doesn't trust him, and he's just trying to make her trust him so that they can survive.
Oh. 42 says, if I won $1 million, what would I do with it? Well, first, I'd probably put some of it away so, it can't just leave or be evaporated mysteriously, because, that tends to happen in those kinds of scenarios. Well, okay, first, I deal with the IRS because they don't just let you have $1 million, realistically. But after that, I'd probably just get myself my dream house, which is not a mansion or anything, but just somewhere out in the woods or something where I could record and scream and yell and do everything I need to record more efficiently, and just, set myself up for an easier life to do what I do now, is content create, which is what I like to do. I don't really have an exciting answer for the $1 million question. Oh.
$1 million. What do you answer the $1 million? Oh, what would you do with $1 million? Sorry.
So Anime had a question. If you're done with the $1 million question.
Oh, so the sound is ready, apparently. So this is a horror ambient sound from a horror game that I thought was really creepy.
If we want to hear it, we all have to turn our audio on.
That's okay.
I just listened to it because he put it in the Discord server. So.
Oh, all right. Good idea. Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, something's probably crawling around in those vents.
So, yeah. But anime asked, do you have a favorite accent?
British accent, because my best friend is British, and I've had to grow up listening to her annoying but awesome voice for half my life. Bliss, if you're listening to this, I'm talking about you.
Then she follows it up with
Coke?
Coke?
Excuse me, but yeah.
No, that is not how she followed it up. She followed it up with awesome Coke or crappy Pepsi.
I was just gonna say Coke or crappy Pepsi, but
Awesome Coke or crappy Pepsi.
Coke.
Anime, bagels or English muffins?
Okay.
Rapid fire questions. Wow.
Hey, she can do it. I've seen her do it.
Bagel or English muffin? Both. I'm hungry.
Depends on the mood. I agree with you on that one.
Bagels all day long because then I can just slather them in freaking cream cheese.
Creamy cheese, cheesy creamy cheese.
I slather one side in cream cheese, the other side in jelly, and then I just freaking put it together and eat like a sandwich. It cannot be good for my it
like
can't be good for my
cinnamon
arteries, but delicious.
Oh, it's not good for your arteries. Do you eat cinnamon toast?
That is not an abomination.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Now I can.
Oh, okay. Do you like cinnamon toast?
Yes.
Midnight? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Some people think cinnamon toast is wrong.
I mean, I don't eat it that much, but yes, I do like it.
You know, as an adult, you're allowed to eat it whenever you want now.
Nah, not really. I gotta watch my figure.
No, you don't.
Listen, just because
Yes.
you can do something does not mean that you should.
That's
What?
exactly what it means.
Ooh, what?
Just because I can do something exactly is why I'm going to do something.
No,
Who
that's
raised you
that's.
up?
Let's see
I
here.
dropped it.
Did somebody drop?
What would you say are myths or rumors that revolve around you?
Say your question again. I heard you. I zoned out there for a second. I don't know why.
What would you say are myths or rumors that revolve around you?
Revolve around me?
Mm-hmm.
Like me personally, or
No,
You
you
personally.
as your midnight precinct, I think.
oh, okay.
Either way.
I mean, I'm still relatively new, I'd imagine, so I guess that people call me a horror narrator only. I think, I don't know, that's more like a misconception, not a rumor, but I don't have a real exciting answer for that, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, that's good.
Favorite conspiracy theory / theories anime asks.
Roswell. Roswell, because it is such... It's such... how do I say this? It is so much its own thing that people will go all the way over to the town where it happened and go to something that they know is a tourist trap and have an amazing time there, even though it's really just meant to take your money from you. I went there myself. I went to the UFO museum, got myself some merchandise, took pictures of all the weird attractions, and the whole Roswell incident itself is
so
just a good thing
40
to look into. Oh, what is you saying?
42 asked a question and I missed it. She asked vanilla or chocolate.
Both. I'm hungry. But yeah, the Roswell incident is just really cool to look into, regardless of what you end up believing, either aliens or weather balloon. It's its own thing, and to some people, it's even, been a form of recreation as to like, oh, what can I come up with about the Roswell incident this time, or what can I do this time about Roswell, or just flying saucers and stuff like that. Like that's really why. I don't think there's actually much to the conspiracy theory in itself, but what it spawned was great because it happened in the first place.
So
Mm-hmm.
then she goes on to ask you, and I believe I already know the answer to this: cake or pie?
Cake.
I was
Same.
waiting for both. I'm hungry.
But not, actually, I should say neither, because like I was just telling, I visited my family like not last week, and we had cake there, and we've had cake 3 times over the last like month or so, and every time I eat cake, I'm going to say, hey, this is really good. 5 minutes later, hey, I've eaten this piece of cake, but I'm never going to eat cake ever again because this is so filling. And then 2 weeks later, hey, look, another cake. 5 minutes later, I'm never going to eat another cake ever again.
Okay. This is a personal question, and you do not have to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a fat kid?
No. I was actually extremely underweight. From birth, believe it or not. I was born extremely early, and because of that, I had to be on what they call a reverse diet for a number of years because I was very, very unhealthily underweight. Even somewhat recently. But no, if that's related, the reason I avoid sweets is just because, I like it for 5 minutes, but then it just turns into just paste and sugar, and I can't eat paste and sugar all the time. I just don't like it.
Okay. That makes more sense. I just thought you were some kind of weirdo for a minute.
Well, I am. What are you talking about?
Well, no, but it's one kind of weirdo to do the whole horror thing. It's a totally other kind of weirdo that has issues with cake and pie and candy.
T-Stash says, I was a fat kid. I was a fat young adult. I am a slightly obese man.
Okay, so 42 asks Dean or Sam.
Who are those?
Supernatural.
No, I'm sorry. I've committed a crime.
The right answer is Dean. Just say Dean. You're good.
I want to kill both I want to kill both these people. I've never met them in my life, and they're holding me at gunpoint.
What about whoa, it went too fast. What about Men in Black?
Haven't seen it.
No, what about the conspiracy theory?
Oh, it probably is its own thing. I don't believe in the whole lizard people thing, but I don't find it exceptionally hard to believe that some government agencies are just really unprofessional with their jobs, that they'd allow these shady people who wear suits and sunglasses to just go around and do shady stuff while the public can capture it on some kind of camera or audio or something like that.
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You are now in the Traveler's Tavern jail because you don't know who Sam and Dean are.
Yep.
And you're going to be put to death. Because that's how we roll. What do you want for your last meal?
No.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yes, you did. What is your last meal?
I don't have a last meal because I'm breaking out of here and killing all of you. All right.
There's some fine print that you didn't read in the contract that you signed in blood that you don't know that you signed.
I don't have any blood. What are you talking about? I'm an ethereal being.
Okay,
we got blood out of you.
Listen, the real reason is because I am a man in black myself, as you saw in the Matt's Chats interview. I was just hiding it. I don't have blood. I'm a lizard person. I'm breaking out of your jail and I'm killing all of you.
I will offer you cake.
I'm gonna kill you twice now. I'm gonna kill you twice now.
What if I offer you an apple?
We'll offer you a fruit salad.
Anime says Sunday or
what if I
banana
offer
split?
you a green salad?
No, fruit salad's better.
No.
42 says, "Get out midnight. You are done." No, it's you. It is in fact you who are all done. It sounds like the hunter has become the hunted.
He's really gonna spare my life because after you guys lock him up, I'm just gonna give him the keys and just slowly, nonchalantly walk away.
You're one of the good ones.
I just want to know what he wants for his last meal.
My last meal, if I were to be thrown into a jail that is not yours, would probably just be A Subway sandwich.
Ooh.
Any
Man of
particular
simple
one or
taste.
just a random?
An Italian, please, with extra banana peppers on it, because I like spicy foods.
What is your favorite
Okay.
cryptid-esque anime?
Cryptid. Not Siren Head. I like Siren Head enough, but probably Skinwalkers, because there have been a lot of variations on Skinwalkers that I really like the portrayal of, and who knows, there might be something that's actually real and just roaming around on Earth that we haven't quite gotten a hold of in terms of discovery. But I really like Skinwalkers because they've been portrayed as anything from stuff that looks like the Rake creepypasta to things that can imitate normal humans to things that appeared as coyotes or dogs on the street, then started standing upright and contorting. And I really, really like Skinwalkers. They're creepy.
You mentioned my favorite cryptid when you said Rake. I like those just little bastards. They're like very, very good hunters, and I appreciate that. The Rakes are badass.
Yeah, rakes are badass.
Oh.
Rakes are everywhere.
T-Stash is gonna go. Thank you for participating.
Thank you, T-Stash. Come
Thank
back
you for
later.
Thank you for joining Traveler's Tavern episode 12.
Just take a shot of adrenaline tea. You'll be fine.
You said Skinwalker too many times.
Skinwalker.
You're talking about Bloody Mary earlier. I actually did play Bloody Mary as a teenager.
Ooh.
And I'm still here, but there was a time right after I played it that every time I went into the bathroom, I don't know if it was my imagination or not, but if I looked in the mirror before crossing in front of it completely and out of its sight, it was black.
Ah.
Even if the light was on, it was black. And then after I passed out of it, if I came back, it would be normal. So, but that kind of ended after a while.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is kind of creepy. But I think that's why I don't like looking in mirrors now.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be like me with you habits too.
I mean, I'm definitely not a vain person when it comes to that.
Oh my god, so many people are following me on Twitter because of your guys' show.
Oh, great!
I have like
Great.
10. I have like 10 new followers. This is great.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Anime asks Bloody Mary or Candyman.
I don't know what the context is, so I'm just gonna say Bloody Mary.
I have never. I've done Candyman. It does nothing. It did nothing. Bloody Mary, on the other hand, like I said, kind of creepy. You got this new one named 242. She's crazy. Oh, new follower. Okay.
So I like Candyman because he'll give me candy, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, I guess.
So, do you have any phobias? And if so, what are they?
I don't think I have any of the classic ones. Fear of the unknown, I guess. I guess that's a given, but specifics. I guess to a certain extent, I'm afraid of bugs, but not all of them. Just kind of the ones that, just like centipedes, that kind of thing. I don't like scorpions. Fear of being alone, I guess. That's why that creepypasta literally called Alone is one of my favorites, is because it really kind of taps into that fear that I have, and it just makes it all the more scary. I think that's about it. I don't really have any. I have some general fears that crop up here and there while I'm looking at content, but those are the most specific ones I can think of. No,
your
not
silliest fear?
Fearsome Hero, deep water. No, I'm not really scared of the water. I'm not scared of heights or closed spaces or anything like that.
I'm afraid of water.
Afraid of forever. I can understand that, Fearsome.
So,
I'm sorry, I cut somebody off. I know that.
are you good?
I just said that I was afraid of water.
Ah.
If we were to have a zombie apocalypse, would you die first, or how long do you think you would survive?
Oh, I would probably die first. I would probably die first because I'm visually impaired and my legs are too long for my own good, so I'd probably tear my meniscus again and not be able to walk and be zombie food. So, you know. If I wasn't disabled, maybe I could survive a decent amount, but I mean, I'm not a tactician or anything. I've played a couple zombie games on occasion, but not really. I don't really go into those in-depth like zombie survival guides or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person.
You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor.
Just
You
think.
don't have any
Double tap.
special skills.
Double tap. That's all you got to remember. Double tap in the head.
Yeah, you double tap in the head, and then you just bring the horde of zombies that are around the area into your location.
I've also never fired a gun in my life, so you know.
Oh my goodness.
That's
How
why-
are we going to justify saving him next?
Well, you're not. Like
And
I
you
said,
live in an area that's not protected by any other supernatural creatures. What do we?
well, the actual answer is that I become the supernatural creature, like I told you before, and then I just rain hell down on everybody, including the zombies.
42 says, I've only realized in the last year that being late is a fear. It causes my hands to sweat and my heart to race.
Huh.
I don't know if you're being late, but it really pisses me off when people are late because I give you a set time and then you can't arrive on set time and then you waste my time and inconvenience it. And if you inconvenience me in the slightest, it pisses me off.
Yeah,
I hate inconvenience.
you have a problem with inconvenience. We know this. Teasing.
Oh no! There's a problem with inconvenience. It's the one of the few things that can piss me off quick.
Yeah, you have a problem with inconvenience. We are aware of this.
Oh my god! How would
Okay,
human...
guys, we're coming to the end, so
All right.
we have a couple of strings to tie up.
But
Midnight,
before
do
we
you
do-
have any questions for us?
Before we do, I want to hear Midnight's answer to this question. How would
Okay.
human life be different if crocodiles or alligators could fly?
I love
Horrifying?
that question.
It would probably be horrifying. It'd probably be like Sharknado, but worse.
It made me laugh, and I had to ask it.
That's
I
my
love that
answer. That's how it would be different. Is just one word: horrifying.
I like it.
It isn't
All right.
already?
Okay, continue, Filia.
No, I'm still
Oh.
stuck on flying fucking crocodiles. Oh my god.
That's why you got that reaction out of me. I read that question and I was like, oh.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any questions for the panel?
Well, I would like to just sort of know if any of you are interested in the events that the greater horror community outside of this is constantly doing. Like, I think I mentioned this a little bit before the show, but obviously VR chat has been a big one. It's what got me, it's what led me to here to talking to you guys, is the VR community. Do you guys have an interest in doing things that are a little bit unconventional, not just making videos, or like meeting people in games and going to live events and that kind of thing?
Yes.
What kind of, if it wasn't anything that's been... Here's a question. Here's an actual question. If there was an unconventional thing that you guys would do within your community, what would it be and why, if price and timing was no object?
Well, there was the VR con.
Yeah, I want to do the VR. I want to go this year, and I want to have a table.
No, what is something that
Right.
you would do if you were the organizer?
If I was the
Oh.
organizer,
Oh, I would love to have a meetup. I would love to organize a meetup,
Real life.
like a regional, because where I live, there's a lot of people. Like in the Southwest region, there is a
a
huge
lot of
amount
people
of
in
us.
Arizona.
From like there's a lot of people in Arizona, but like from Louisiana west and from like Utah down, there's
Yeah.
a crap load.
PA, what
And
about
I
your?
think it would be
Oh, sorry.
really fun. No. I was done.
PA, what's your answer if you had to organize an event within the sort of horror community that you find yourself a part of, and price and money were no object, or price and time were no object? What would it be?
I honestly don't know. I'm a very introverted human being. Maybe like a convention where you get like a bunch of authors together. That way they can like, get their works in there, get the works out there more, and then just also because I'm huge into fantasy, there's still a fantasy element in there as well.
He'd come to my meetup.
Mia, your answer?
Well, I have to take. I see, PA. I hate you sometimes. I am probably the most introverted out of us all. While I would love to have meetups and go to meetups and meet people and be around them and everything, I'm probably more comfortable meeting them online, like in a VR or Discord or something like that. And again, VR, I've not actually done that much in. I was in there. Mr. Creepypasta and a couple of others were showing us around. So I was in there for that, but it's one of those things where I find myself in awkward situations when it comes to socializing. I'm not a social animal. I'm not a social person per se. My husband's the social butterfly of the two of us. And with my health problems, it makes it very hard for me to make meetups and, oh, let's go do this paranormal thing, or let's just go watch these movies or whatever. It makes it difficult to do that. So getting to be around people online where I can talk to them and get to know them that way is more comfortable to me. And has been for a long time, actually. So I think that it would probably be something like that, like a VR or a Discord or some other kind of meetup type situation.
In that case, I guess I'll give my own answer because it is actually something that I am planning to do. If I can just put in a little bit small advertisement in here.
Go do it.
This is the first the public has ever heard of it because it was conceived not too long ago. It's still currently in the works, but I am in the process of getting people interested in Midnight Society VR story time. It is basically a play on Are You Afraid of the Dark style of horror storytelling. It's going to be held in VR chat. No specific date, no specific world just yet. We're still working out those details, but basically we're going to have maybe one big event, maybe a couple of small events where a bunch of narrators and just anyone who wants to participate will get up on a stage, introduce themselves, maybe answer a couple of questions, and narrate a story of their choosing of a certain length. And afterwards, they would have the opportunity to explain why they like the story and why it's influential to them, what scares them about it, or anything else that they would want to talk about pertaining to the story that they narrated. Anyone's free to come. I will probably be giving out more details in the future as to the specifics of this event, but yeah, to the audience here and to the Nevermore Collective, be on the lookout for Midnight Society VR Storytime on VR Chat.
Wow.
A free game.
I am looking forward to that. That would be fun.
Fun.
So that's about it for that. Any other strings we got to tie up? Or
I think that's about it.
Well, we've got to talk about next week, and we have to talk about grave matters.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be on Grave Matters, aren't I?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, you are.
I didn't know that. Nice. See,
Yeah.
So you and I will be chatting again.
Within 15
I
minutes
don't know if you knew that.
Within 15 minutes of meeting Creepy Clown Girl on Twitter, she invited me to come on Grave Matters.
Yes.
So
she has
Yes.
she
She is excited about that.
no qualms to inviting anybody to do anything. She really has that outgoing, I want to ask you to do this so that we can get to know each other better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is just all out there, and she is amazing.
Talk about a social
Support.
butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. But she is amazing at supporting narrators and the horror community. She is the Energizer Bunny. I don't know where she
Yes.
has the energy to do it all.
All right. Well, we do
But,
got to wrap this up,
yeah.
guys.
Right. So, Grave Matters. Let me get over here so I can give you the rundown on who's coming up. I do have a list. So tomorrow we have Nightmare Files. Woohoo! On June 13th, we have Midnight Researcher. This is, of course, on Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that would be 10 p.m. Eastern. And on June 20th, apparently whenever this was made, we weren't sure if it was going to be Dice Rolling or Vidith. So I don't know that. I don't know if he's going to be yet. So at least for the next 2 weeks, we're covered.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we're not sure. But for the next 2 weeks, we've got Nightmare Files and then Midnight Researcher.
Nice.
So
She's probably
Cool.
got another list that sells everybody down. But yeah.
yeah.
See, that's the other thing is she keeps those lists. Now, if I can just get her
Try
to
and
write
keep the
down
lists.
if I could just get her to write down her story ideas when they hit her head.
Right.
yeah.
You know, there's lists everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Then
But
I'm
she
just
doesn't
gonna,
write down notes.
And the other thing we need to do is discuss what the Nevermore Collective is. And that's PA's job.
Nevermore Collective is a collection of individuals that create content that doesn't necessarily fit their channel. It is open to everyone. So if any of you all have something that you want to create that it doesn't fit your channel, contact me as the Raven Dreams or 242 Reads, and we can get you guys set up with a time slot in the show.
Is it live shows only?
I talked to
No.
Raven, and it's not only live shows. We can upload videos. If you guys have a video you want to upload, upload it. We, again, come to me, Raven, or 42, and we can get you squared away with access to be able to access the channel and upload videos.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And I have buffered. I'm sorry, guys.
If I want to say
That's my strings.
my own little outro here for everybody. Just do
Go
as
ahead.
do as good a job I
Go
did
ahead.
with the intro. Apparently, I surprised all you guys. So, dramatically clearing my throat.
Awesome.
So, for the people who have been watching, and for the people who are watching this after the live stream, this has been Traveler's Tavern, Episode 12, with me, Midnight Researcher, general horror content creator specializing in mostly narrations, but other content as well. I've been here with Filia Noctis, PA Nightmares, Mina, and our host, 242. It's been Traveler's Tavern. I'm Midnight Researcher. Be on the lookout for my own event, Midnight Society VR Story Time. This has been episode 12. And I'm guessing we'll all see you guys in the future very, very soon. Thank you all for joining.
Once you join the collective, you can leave more.
Nevermore.
I was going to actually do it. Once you join the collectives, you can leave nevermore.
Once you join, you can leave nevermore.
Should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
Death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
Should have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
Death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon. You challenge me.